Hello and welcome to radio. This is radio class 2, 3, and 4 here at Baton Rouge Magnet High School. I'm Todd Delaney, General Manager of WBRH and KBRH, and I'm also your child's teacher. So if they're in radio 2, 3, and 4, I'm their teacher. This is the guy. Let me see. So I'm actually alumni of the program myself. I started my career about 30 years ago here at Baton Rouge High, and I went from here, stuck with it for a number of years. Started off as a sophomore, graduated, of course, and then went over to LSU, learned a lot of stuff over there, and stuck with radio for quite some time. Graduated, went off and did news and sports, weather, worked at Louisiana Radio Network, a couple other places along the way. And I eventually landed over at Southeastern Louisiana University as the general manager. I was the general manager there for about 19 years, and then got a phone call to come back over here to Baton Rouge High and say, hey, you want to come teach over here as well and be the GM? I was like, yeah, let's do that. That'd be great. So coming full circle finally this year. So it's an honor to be back here. And it's also an honor to teach your child. So I am honored to be their teacher for radio and show them everything that I know about radio along the way. You've got some really great kids, and it's a pleasure to work with them. They're really good. They're creative, very smart and capable, and they've got good work ethics. So you're doing great as parents. So congratulations, kudos, well done. And it makes my job very easy to work with such talented people. So what do? Well, I use Google Classroom to teach radio virtually. I didn't think this was going to work out so well, but it is. It's doing really well so far. So I go to Google Classroom. I'm sure you're probably familiar with Google Classroom, and I'll just kind of show you my couple of classes that I've got, radio 1, 2, 3, up through 7th hour. And let's just pull up one of these. Let's go to 2nd hour, for example. So getting into Google Classroom, I'll just kind of orient you really quickly. Our stream shows the announcements. If I have any announcements, they'll be posted right here. Generally, you'll see upcoming due dates for quizzes usually. Other important upcoming dates are right here. But right here are general announcements. In the classwork tab, this is what we're actually working on. This is where the homework and all the assignments are going to be posted right here in the classwork tab. So for week number 6, we've got Monday, we've got this presentation, we've got a little exit ticket to do. Then on Wednesday, we've got a little quiz to take care of, and then I'll post some other assignments for the rest of the week. So right there at the top is the latest week that we're working on, the current week, in fact. And then I'll also, of course, keep all of the previous weeks in there as well. So if you ever need to refer back to anything, presentations, earlier content, it's always there available for your child as well to access. So there you have it. There it is. Let's go back to the Stream tab. I'll scroll all the way down. At the end of this Stream tab is going to be the radio syllabus. So it's the first thing that I posted. It's down there at the bottom, always accessible. So you can always pull this up. Let's go over this really quickly. So this is radio 2, 3, and 4. Basically, it's a condensed version of the classes that I would teach at the college level over at Southeastern Louisiana University. I kind of condensed everything and put them into a one-year format. So that's what we're teaching. So radio 2, 3, and 4 students are having the same experience. Since this is the first time that we're teaching this level of class, I thought it would be a pretty good start for everybody. Kind of learn the basics of radio and see all the different aspects of it. So we'll get into that a little bit. But right there, the instructor, that's me, Todd Delaney. My email is right there at the top, and also the phone number. If you ever need to reach me, feel free to give me a call as well, 225-388-9030 here at the radio station. Attendance, it's imperative that your student attends the class. You really can't get the information elsewhere. So there's no one book to go to. There's, oh, here's the radio book, and here's everything you need to know about radio. It doesn't exist as far as I know. I might need to write that one day. Who knows? But the pertinent information that they need to pull from this class is going to come through classes, and it's not easily accessible in most other places. Also, attendance is very important because you need to show up. We try to instill professional values in our students, the students that come through our classes, especially in radio, because our radio station isn't just a little small radio station here at the school. It broadcasts everywhere. We've got a big radius, a huge listenership out there. So what we say on the radio goes very far, and many people hear it. So we want to establish those professional values so that students show up on time, they say the right thing on the air, and they represent themselves and the rest of the school very well and in good favor. So our objectives in this course is to basically serve as an introduction to sound, audio, techniques, and equipment used to capture and manipulate audio for radio use. So students learn fundamental concepts for techniques, philosophies in radio, and that lays the groundwork for a very solid career in the radio industry, also the broadcast industry, and many other industries as well. If they need public speaking skills, they're probably going to learn those here in this radio training program. It's a performance class, so students will go on the air at WBRH or KBRH. And for those students that remain virtual throughout the year, they're going to put together some productions that will also air on the radio. So everybody's going to have some on-air experience at the end of this radio training program this year. You also, the students will also study business aspects of radio, and some out-of-class participation time is required due to that. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. What supplies do students need? They need some headphones. It's an industry practice. Bring your own headphones wherever you go, and you plug in and do your shift and then unplug and go back home with your headphones. So it's very important that you have your own headphones with you. I prefer the headphones that go over the ears, but whatever headphones are available, I'd say that would be fine as well. There's a couple of headphones that I don't think they make anymore that would create feedback, so you don't even have to worry about that. Just as long as your child has some headphones, that's absolutely fine. I'm sure that's going to be great. Earbuds, that's okay. I'll say okay to that. I didn't years ago, but I do now, so it's okay. So graded elements. What's going to be graded? Well, we've got lots of quizzes and class exercises. Each week I give a quiz in class that worth 5 points each. And this covers the important material, kind of the highlights of the lesson that's been presented that week. Basically, it's an easy 5-point grab. So if you showed up to class, you saw the presentations, did everything that you needed to do, this little quiz is super simple. It basically makes sure that you understand the main concepts of the production. There's also audio productions. We're going to do 2 each semester, and those are worth 50 points each. Radio research paper is in there as well. This is worth 100 points, and it's my belief that radio is fundamental to whatever you do in communication. So whether you are in radio, whether you're writing for a newspaper, if you're in television, you need a solid foundation in writing, and pretty much any other industry that you go into. Even when you're writing those cover letters, you're filling out your resume, you need to be able to write really well. So writing is really a fundamental element to communication, and we get some practice, because the best way to enhance your writing is to practice. So we'll give them some more practice with the radio research paper, do a little bit of research in there as well, along with writing for commercials and public service announcements and the copy that they produce here in class for on-air use. We've got a midterm exam that we'll do at the middle of the year, at the end of this semester, and that's going to be worth 50 points. So that comprises 350 points for this semester. Pretty much we'll do the same thing again next semester for another 350 points, and that'll wrap things up for the year. There's a grade scale right there. Quizzes, class exercises, basically says what I just said. Audio productions, tests students' ability to record, edit, produce audio productions, and we'll have more details about that a little bit later on as those audio productions come closer. The radio research paper is super simple, 2-page research paper, 200 words in length, but also has 2 current sources that are cited. So real basic, super simple, introductory research paper for the radio research paper. Then those exams are listed in there as well. We've got the JazzAthon fundraiser that is going to happen twice. So this fall, it's scheduled for October the 17th, which is a Saturday. It'll run through that weekend and through the week, and then conclude on the following weekend on the 25th. I believe that's that Sunday night. So students are asked to I'm going to send out a form very soon asking for their availability on the weekends. We're not expecting them to stay after class hours during the week, but mainly just to fill roles on the Saturday, Sunday, the first week, and then the second weekend. So I'll send out a form checking on their availability for that. Basically, they're going to be here either going on the air, asking for donations to the radio station, or taking phone calls from people that are donating to the radio station. So I think a lot of people have have a history of that. I think they did a lot of work with that last year. And so I think you know the concept there. More information to come very soon about that, though. Classroom behavior and decorum. Again, we're here to create a professional environment, a safe professional environment where students can flourish with their radio skills and techniques. And students, therefore, are encouraged to share their thoughts, ask questions, and discuss topics freely. In accordance with the student handbook, behavior that interferes with another's ability to learn and benefit from the class is strictly prohibited. And all of these things came out from bits of wisdom that I gleaned over the years. So all personal electronic devices should be turned off at the beginning of class, remain off throughout the entire class. Students are also expected to treat everyone with dignity and respect. And no food or drinks are allowed in the studios. And that comes, I'll just give you a quick story. I got a call, it's 3 o'clock in the morning one day, many years ago, from this guy. It was CJ. He says, hey, Todd, CJ at the radio station. I just spilled coffee all over the board and shorted out the equipment, and we're off the air. Can you come up and fix it? Yeah, okay, man, I'll be up there. Okay, so I hung up and went up and got us back on the air. But from that point on, it's like, okay, that's a no more food, no more drinks in the studio. And that's not the only time that has happened in my radio career that I've seen. So we just ban food and drinks in the studio in general. Let me see, radio station rules. Other radio station rules: treat all equipment properly. Radio equipment's expensive. So if you're throwing a microphone around, or tossing headphones around, pushing buttons crazy hard or something like that, it could damage it. And we don't have a whole lot of funds to replace that stuff. So misuse of any studio equipment will not be tolerated. Inappropriate offensive language, gestures will not be tolerated. The FCC doesn't like it, and therefore we need to we don't like it as well. So we need to instill these certain expectations for our students, that once they graduate from here, they continue to abide by FCC rules and regulations. I tell all my students, especially the college level, whatever language you're using, make sure you check it at the door. Don't bring that language in here, because accidentally a mic could be turned on at any given moment, and that might cost us $10,000, $20,000 in fines if you slip up and say the wrong word and the mic just happened to be on. So I want to make sure that's very clear. Depictions of alcohol, drug, tobacco use, extreme violence, use of weapons, all going to be considered inappropriate material for student productions. So we don't put that in our student productions, and basically want to produce content that's expected for a general audience. So keep that in mind. That's what we tell our students, and they're expected to participate in all activities, all class activities. So the idea is that when you go to work at a radio station, you go into the studio and it's time for your shift. And then if you don't turn the mic on and do your thing, then, sorry, you're out of here. We'll find somebody else to come on in and be the DJ for this radio station. So we need students to come in and participate in all the class activities, because, again, we're expecting that they're going to have those skills instilled in them and get some practice here, because that's expected out there in the industry itself. So there's a big audience. When you turn that mic on, you're not just talking to the student body, you're talking to Baton Rouge and surrounding areas. So it's really important for you to represent yourself, again, the school, in a very good light. And we expect that from all of our students. There's our tentative schedule for the year. We cover a broad topic, lots of stuff in radio. Pretty much if it's in radio, we touch on it this year, and we'll do that. So we talked about the little bit of history of radio, the hearing process. We talked about the anatomy, dynamics of sound, analog versus digital audio. We do writing. We're going to talk about recording equipment, announcing, improving your speaking voice. We're going to do interviewing. We're going to do some documentary production. We'll talk about psychoacoustics. We'll do masking and music selection, the entire air chain. How does audio get from the announcer speaking to the listener on the other end? We'll cover all the equipment in between. Pretty much, if you think about it, it's going to be covered in this class. So that's my expectation, is to at least open the eyes of all of our students and say, hey, there's a whole lot of these areas in radio that you can get into, and you can make a career out of it, and a very rewarding career along the way. So that's my goal, is to expose everybody to these different aspects of radio, not just getting in the on-air booth turning on the mic and talking about the music and that kind of thing. So not just announcing, there's a lot of other stuff that goes into making radio, making really good radio. What else do you need to know? Let's see. Let's go over to the Student Progress Center. So if you go in and you Google J-Campus, there we go, boom. You get this Student Progress Center. So ebredgear.net. Let's click on that. And it pulls up this page right here. And you know it's for East Baton Rouge Parish because it says East Baton Rouge School Student Progress Center. So cool. This is where you can check on the progress of your child. So we'll put in their username. It's the first letter of their first name, followed by first letter of their last name, and then 6 numbers afterwards. So you just look for that code. I'm pretty sure you're probably familiar with it. So there we go. And then you put in the password that's associated with it. There we go. You click login, and then boom, pulls up this page, and I kind of grade everything out for this person. But it says, hello, your name, and then you can log out right there if you want to. But here you go. They've got the pages, grade, calendar, attendance, discipline, transcript, all the good stuff right there to keep tabs on how your child is progressing in their academic realm. So very powerful tool for you right there is the J-Campus link. Put that to use if you haven't already. It's always available for you right there. And there you go. Let me see what else we need to cover. Oh, one final thing before we head out. I'd love to get your email address. So let me come back over here. Shoot me an email. Please send me an email. Just type it in there so I have it. I'll put it into my spreadsheet for my contacts list. And because I'd love to have your email so I can communicate back with you. If you have any questions for me at any time, I'm always checking my email. You're curious about the program itself, how your child's doing, how to get into the radio industry, any bits of wisdom or anything that you need to know, I'll be your radio guy. So shoot me an email. I'd love to hear from you. tdelaney@ebrschools.org. So right there, tdelaney@ebrschools.org. Please send me an email so that I'll have your email address and I'll be able to communicate very easily with you and vice versa. So there you have it. There it is. That's what you need to know. A really quick, very brief view of the Radio 2, 3, and 4 program here at Baton Rouge High School, the radio training program. Thank you again for joining us, and thank you so much for entrusting your child to learn through this radio training program. I hope they get a lot out of it. I know I certainly did, and I have very high expectations for where they go. Wherever they go, I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful thing. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.